Australian culture is rich and diverse, shaped by its history, geography, and the people who call it home. From the coastal cities to the vast outback, there's no shortage of fascinating customs and traditions. But what are the habits that truly define the Aussie way of life? Stick around and I'll fill you in.
You better take cover. Oh.
For a nation that's as vast and varied as Australia is, it's no surprise that different regions have their own unique flavours. But there are certain habits and customs that seem to bring everyone together. And I'm talking about the little things that might seem insignificant on their own, but collectively, they paint a picture of a culture that's both laid back and lively. Take, for example, thong throwing, a competition where participants see who can launch a thong the furthest. Now, for my American friends, I'm not talking about the things you wear under your skirt, although I'm sure we could probably make a sport out of that too. I'm talking about those highly important pieces of rubber Aussie apparel that we wear all summer long to stop the scorching pavement from burning our feet. It's a light-hearted but surprisingly competitive event, especially on Australia Day. And the rules are simple. Kick off a thong, stand behind the line and throw it as far as possible. Adding further to this tradition is what you do if you break the thong in all of the excitement. You grab a bread tie and you use it to temporarily fix them because honestly, is there anything worse than a busted plugger? According to experts, you can get a bread tie to last up to a week before needing to change it. Or you could just head down to your local Kmart and buy a new pair for $2. How does 1300 655 06 sound to you? To Aussies, it means something very unique. And I'll give you the answer to that one a little bit later. Christmas in Australia looks a little bit different. Sun, sand and seafood replace snow-covered scenes and chestnuts roasting on an open fire. With Santa's big day falling in the middle of summer, Aussies celebrate with beach trips, backyard barbies and outdoor fun.
In Australia, where I'm from, instead of Santa Claus, we were visited by the Christmas kangaroo, who brought gifts for all the boys and girls. But the Christmas kangaroo wouldn't just give you the gifts. See, we Australians are a rough and tumble bunch, and this kangaroo lived by a code. Your father would have to fight him for the gifts.
Many spend the day at the beach or eating outside, dodging flies and mozzies as the kids open prezzies while the adults have a bevy or two. It's a laid-back, uniquely Aussie take on the festive season, blending holiday cheer with the best parts of summer.
Merry Christmas!
Another huge part of Chrissy is carols by candlelight. Whether that's down at the park being led by your local primary school or at the famed event in Melbourne on Christmas Eve, it's another way that we celebrate the season that's unique to many other cultures. Another part of summer is knowing how to multi-purpose a wheelie bin for a game of backyard cricket. Just remember, over the fence is 6 and out.
I'm not actually out there. You don't go out in the first ball, do you?
Now, no doubt as an Aussie, you've probably had to do a road trip somewhere at some stage through our great country. And that's where our obsession with oversized roadside attractions has become a beloved part of our cultural landscape. These massive monuments scattered across the country, from the iconic Big Banana in Coffs Harbour to the Big Pineapple in Woombye, serve as memorable landmarks, popular tourist spots, and also good places to plan out your wee breaks too. Each big thing tells a unique story about the local community. The Big Merino in Goulburn celebrates the region's wool industry, and the Big Prawn in Ballina pays homage to the local seafood trade. Australia is a big place with a lot of empty spaces, and having these oversized sculptures helps to break up long journeys and offers perfect pit stops for your trek out west or up north to see the rallies. Whilst you're on that road trip, you're bound to run into a stop-go person out in the middle of nowhere, whilst the local council continues to fix that road they've been working on since the 1980s. Aussie tradition dictates that you give them a wave on your way past.
Come on through. Stop right there, cobber.
To not wave would be un-Australian. And we all know what happens when you call that.
Yes! I'm the best.
Congratulations, Gerald. But unfortunately, boasting is un-Australian.
Let's talk about food for a sec and eating out at a pub or a club. Now, if an order of potato wedges doesn't come with a side of sour cream and sweet chilli sauce, there's really no point in even ordering it. And at the end of the day, we don't really care whether people say palmy or palmer. But we do love to fight about who's right. We also know that cheesels always taste better when they're eaten right off your fingers. It's a cultural tradition. Now, if you go to a bar and you hear a friend say, "I'll shout this round," that means that they will pay for this next set of drinks with the expectation that you will pay for the following round in return. You can never leave the pub before it's your round. To do so would mean being ostracised and sent to live forever inside the big banana. We are a nation of musically talented people, and this all stems from our early prowess in mastering the recorder in primary school. You've never heard Three Blind Mice until you've heard an 8-year-old belting it out at a school performance. You also get extra points for the number of off-pitch notes that you hit as well. When it comes to TV, you're either a Neighbours person or you're a home and away person. If you're over a certain age, you remember the night that Molly died like it was yesterday. And you also remember the early morning hours when the winner was...
The winner is Sydney, Australia.
Then we have the way that we run elections. Voting in Australia isn't just about politics. It's about snagging a democracy sausage. On election day, the smell of sizzling sausages fills the air outside polling stations, thanks to local schools, sports clubs and charities running sausage sizzles. We have one of the highest voter turnout rates in the world, but it's not because of compulsory voting, it's because we all crave the smell and taste of a snag and onion. We do tend to have a fondness for using swear words, and maybe more so than other English-speaking countries. We're generally relaxed and pretty thick-skinned, so we pretty much just say how we're feeling. And even the C word was turned into a marketing campaign by the top end.
When are we going to see you in the NT?
I guess the whole swearing thing ties in pretty well with our famous love of slang. And if you haven't experienced authentic Aussie colloquialisms, try these sentences on for size. Yeah, oath mate, there was this mad praying at the lights near the Maccas over there. Which translates to...
Correct, friend. There was a fairly serious traffic incident near the McDonald's restaurant.
Yeah, nah, I don't reckon, eh? Old mate likes to get on the piss. Which means...
No, I don't think so. The gentleman we were just discussing has an overfondness for alcohol.
Hey mate, just chuck a Yui up here. We need to grab some petrol from the servo. And that one means...
Friend, perform a U-turn here. We need to fill up our vehicle with gas from the service station.
By the way, if we ask how's it going, we don't actually care how it's going. It's a part of our culture and just another way of saying g'day. We use the word mate in many different ways too. Some not quite as it would seem. Sure, you've got your standard thanks mate or g'day mate, cheers mate, etc. But saying that's your mate about people who are definitely not someone's mate is also seen as the height of Aussie comedy.
The thing I know about Aussies don't give a shit about stuff. Aussies are so understated. Like a volcano could erupt in the middle of Queen Street and someone would go, it's a bit hot.
Now, you might have heard that Aussies dislike arrogance and boastfulness. And if you're someone who thinks highly of yourself, we're liable to deflate your ego pretty fast. We also have a strong belief in everyone getting a fair suck at the sauce bottle, which basically means we think everyone deserves a fair go. We also hate with a passion when people cut in line. What line? Any line. Lines at the club, lines at the supermarket, the ATM, lines in a traffic jam. If it's not your turn, you don't just get to push in. Lastly, it's tradition to know that any winning trophy, award or treasured possession always goes straight to the pool room.
Dad, it's a samurai sword letter opener.
These handcrafted. How's that? That is just... This is going straight to the pool room.
Oh, you should use it, Dad.
This I am not even taking out of the wrapper.
These habits aren't just quirks. They're the building blocks of a society that's both relaxed and vibrant. I hope they give you a glimpse into what makes Aussies tick and how we interact with each other. Turn it down! In the end, it's these little habits that make our culture so unique. Oh, and by the way...
1-3-0-6-5-5-0-6.
That's the reading writing hotline.
1-3-0-6-5-5-0-6.
Hooroo, mateys.